Hello, this is going to be my thoughts and gameplay for Balanced Druid, and this is really the first time I'm playing Balanced Druid in Shadowlands content. I didn't do any PvP with it at all on the beta, and this is the first time I'm playing in the BG environment in pre-patch. So, first thing I want to do is just kind of talk about the big changes that kind of changed the way you play Balanced Druid. Starfall is no longer a ground target. It is centered at your location. It has a huge radius. It's going to be very, very good for pulling stealth out. So rogues, druids, hunters with camo are going to hate this because it's just going to passively pull them out whenever a balanced druid near them hits it. And it's the way it worked in Wrath of the Lich King if you played back then. Okay, the other thing, I guess the big one, Eclipse. I personally don't like the way Eclipse works. To me, it seems more like a PvE thing. You can use it in PvE when you're standing back and you're not being pressured and you don't think you're going to get targeted. You know, you can do your 2 casts to either get Solar Eclipse or Lunar Eclipse and go from there. But usually I'm kind of ignoring it, you know, because I'm taking damage and I have to stay mobile. So I don't think it's particularly great for PvP, but you can work it in. It's not something that I would change the way you play the class in order to get the benefit. You know, you just do it when you have a window of opportunity. And the other thing, which I'm doing, which, you know, maybe a lot of people don't, is I'm using Full Moon. So I don't think many people have been using Full Moon recently. It used to be used a lot in, and I'm not sure, but maybe it's Warlords of Draenor. It used to be a really big deal in a previous expansion. I'm thinking Warlords, I'm not 100% sure on that, where almost all of the balanced druids were using it, and it's something that you had to avoid. Might have even been baselined in, I can't remember, it's so long ago. But I'm using it right now because it hits like a truck. So you'll see in these clips that sometimes it will crit up for 14, 15k. And I'll be hitting some Star Surges crits for 10k. So, I mean, it's just doing massive damage, the Balanced Druid. Defensively, I don't think it's as strong as Hunter, because with high damage, immunities have very high value. So things like Paladin Bubble, Hunter Turtle Shell, you know, immunities are huge. Or even, you know, massive mitigation, like Dispersion from Shadow Priest. You know, that has a lot of value. What does Druid have? Bark Skin, 20% damage reduction. And I'll tell you that with the damage the way it is right now, 20% is almost meaningless. In fact, I would say even in recent expansions, I used to laugh. You know, Legion and BFA. Druid uses Bark Skin. I just laugh because my damage is so high. I mean, 20% doesn't mean anything, you know? Big deal. So it's harder for Druid to get away from bad situations than my Hunter, for example, just because of Turtle. One thing I have been having some success with is being a sneaky cat and getting up behind the enemy team and taking out their healer. So my general thoughts on this, and it might change, you know, if I play the class more. It's glass cannon. You know, if you let the balanced druid hang back and cast, you know, people are going to die. I two-shot people sometimes with my balanced druid. You know, coming out of stealth, I just flat out immediately two-shot people. You'll see that. And you know, I'm saying it's glass cannon. I mean, it has the armor, you know, from the Moonkin form, but the damage is so high that you know, the second someone gets on you, you need to leave. I mean, you just need to get the hell out of there if you can. But you're taking a lot of damage as you're trying to get away. Whereas with Hunter, you know, you could pop Turtle and get away. So that's why I'm saying it's Glass Cannon, just because it doesn't have really good activated defensives. So I think it's good, and I think there's a trade-off. You know, you have the high damage, but you're more vulnerable. It's still far better than any melee because you can kind of protect yourself with positioning. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the footage and just show you different things. You know, the rotation coming out of stealth is you pop your Celestial, you know, or Incarnation, and go straight into your new moon, half moon, full moon. And if you're using the talent that gives you half of astral power while you're out of combat, then that's going to give you full astral power when you get done with that full moon. And then you can pop off 3 or 4 star surges depending on if you're getting astral power back from lucid dreams.
Looks like our people got deleted there.
They'll probably zerg off somewhere else. No, they're still fighting. Can you get rid of that?
I'm trying. I just got stuck in the zone. Like
Okay, so I'm going to end it up here. You know, that was a pretty cool clip because I happened to catch all 3 of the enemy players with a full moon. And even though it didn't crit, it hurt all 3 of them pretty badly. And then I caught them in a mass entanglement solar beam, which saved that mage, along with Kragan coming in to heal him. And then after that, you know, it's like an FPS, you know, the damage I'm doing. You know, and you can't really say this for melee. Or not for a lot of the melee, I should say. Someone asked me to do a movie like this for Fury Warrior, and I told them, you know, I don't think it's going to go well, and I did it, and it went pretty much as I expected. It's very frustrating. So I will do a Fury Warrior movie to show the other end of this, you know, not being able to do anywhere near the damage as ranged is doing, and you have to actually be in contact with your target to actually do damage, and in the case of Fury Warrior, to heal. That's the worst thing with Fury Warrior. Fury Warrior has a lot of healing, but you get no healing if you can't hit your target. So I'll show that. Also Unholy DK, I've done a lot on. Unholy DK is really strong, so those will be coming hopefully in the next few days. Take care.